to the dungeon. This is level B4, 4 floors below ground at the broadcast center at CBC. Set designs and set planners doing their work down here. A good setting to talk to Daniel Igali, a world champion at a high level of his sport in wrestling. And Daniel, congratulations on the world championship. You won it in 1999. Describe for me what it was like to win a world championship.
It was phenomenal. You know, it's something you can't really describe in words. I couldn't sleep for like 24 hours after I won it. I was just awake, just thinking that I was a world champion. It's something I can't really put in words, but it was very, very awesome. It was a good feeling.
Now, you're a new Canadian in the sense that you've moved here from Nigeria. Back in 1994, you came here for the Commonwealth Games in Victoria. Many Canadians don't know the full story of how you ended up here. What exactly happened?
Well, I came to the Commonwealth Games in '94, and at the time there were political problems in the country. The military had taken over, and basically nobody had rights. They could do anything they wanted to. There was a state of uncertainty. So when I came, I was afraid about that. I was afraid about going back into a country where I didn't know where I would end up. So I decided to stay. And I also wanted to be able to go to school and to be able to wrestle better than I thought. Like I wanted to be a world champion eventually. And I got to meet lots of great people, great coaches, training partners, and here I am, a world champion now.
And you become a world champion for an adopted country, and you're on the podium and they play "O Canada," not the Nigerian anthem. What was that feeling like?
It was a great feeling. It was a great feeling because I think I've come a long way. I started wrestling back in Nigeria, but I think I owe everything here. Because you must remember, I came to the Commonwealth Games and I was 11th at the Commonwealth in '94. And to be a world champion now means that people have done a lot of work on me. So I owe that a lot to Canada and to my coaches. And so when the anthem was playing and the flag was going up, I didn't have any regrets doing it for Canada. I felt happy. I was most happy for Canadian wrestling because we had finally broken the zincs. The monkey was off our backs. Now anybody could go to the Worlds and aim for the gold medal. That was such a feeling.
Now, Daniel, you're going into the Olympic Games as a defending world champion. There's a lot of pressure, normally a lot of expectations, especially in Canada for athletes in that particular situation. How do you think you're going to be able to handle the expectations and pressure of that role?
Fun is good you mentioned expectations, because some people say pressure, and I don't believe it's pressure. I believe that now wrestling has a lot more fans. Wrestling is going to be known better because they now expect us to go into the Olympics for a gold medal. And I think that's a good thing. I think we have more fans expecting us to do well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I will definitely go into the Olympics expecting to do well. I expect that of myself too. So that's a good thing. I don't expect that pressure is going to bring me down. We can never go down. We're only going to go higher, and that's a gold medal at the Olympics.
All right, thanks very much.
Thanks.
A remarkable story. Daniel Igali taking on Wade Elliott in this final at the 69-kilo class. Daniel at the Burnaby Mountain Wrestling Club, Wade Elliott out of the University of Calgary. And Daniel dedicated that victory at the World Championships to his adopted mother in Canada, Maureen Metheny, who unfortunately died of cancer a few days after he got back from the World Championships.
You know, that was such a tragic but touching story, and you know, very, very amazing guy, Daniel Igali, and went right from the airport to see his adopted mother in the hospital, and she was able to hold on long enough till he got there.
Says he gets letters every day from Nigerians who are proud of what he's done, and freestyle wrestling, he says, is at the heart of the culture there, really. It's an old and ancient culture, and he grew up with it.
Well, and he's been a fantastic influence for young Canadian wrestlers as well. You know, very well-spoken, very great sportsman, and you know, we're looking forward to even more over the next few years.
He's just 25 years old. This is match number 1 against Wade Elliott, who's in tough against the reigning world champion in this class. There's a point for Igali.
It's really tough for somebody like Wade Elliott in this particular circumstance. You know, he's wrestled a few matches to get to this point. All of a sudden, he's got to wrestle the best in the world. He's wrestled him in the past before. He knows what he can do. He knows how good he is, and can be a little bit deflating for your ego. You just go out there, you try to score some points, you try to be a little bit controlling. Hope that the best can happen, but it's still tough to get over that kind of feeling that you're wrestling the best in the world.
Igali is so nimble, so cat-quick.
Well, he's got amazing power, you know, and you see right there, you know, he just explodes right in to score that point, and for Elliott, he's got to keep moving. If he stays in one position too long, he's going to get killed on attacks like that. So against a wrestler like Igali, you got to keep moving to take that power away from him. It's hard to move it's hard to hit a moving target, and that's what he's got to try to do.
Igali won the bronze at the Pan Am Games before going to Turkey to win the World Championship in October.
Well, and in the Pan Am Games, he lost to McElravy, who he wrestled in the finals of the World Championship. So it was sweet revenge to beat him at the World Championships. Here we see a great turn on Igali's part, again, using that power in his legs and his hips, throwing Elliott over.
Minute 20 to go in round 1 of match 1. 4-0 already for Daniel Igali. And
turn him on the same move again. That's called a crotch lift. He gets him around the legs, hurting him again.
remember, there's a 10-point mercy rule.
Now that's momentum, using Elliott's momentum going up and just popping him over from that position, scoring many, many points in that flurry of activity.
In complete control right now, Daniel Igali, the world champion, trying to close this out before the end of round 1 of match 1.
Well, and that's not unheard of for Daniel Igali. You know, that 10-point rule, wrestlers like Igali really benefit from that because they score a lot of points really quickly, and a lot of times that match doesn't end at the end of the match. It ends earlier on.
And it just ended. Daniel Igali 10-0 with only, I think, 30 seconds left in this first round of match 1. A dominating performance by the reigning world champion. Born in Nigeria, became a Canadian citizen in 1998. Has his eyes on the prize in Sydney in 2000.
Here we see some of those points earlier on. Daniel's got Elliott's legs crossed and up. Here he looks like he's in a bit of trouble, but maintains his composure and pops Elliott over for 2 points out of bounds. We see it from a different angle here. This is to win the match. It's 8-0 now for Igali. If he could score 2 more points, he's got a 10-point advantage, and he does it again.
Daniel Igali has already won the Greco-Roman title at these Olympic trials. Will he add the freestyle title? We'll have match number 2 with Daniel Igali, the world champion, when we come back to Studio 40 at the Broadcast Center. Don't go away. We're getting set for match number 2, round 1. Freestyle final, 69 kilos. Coming into the mat right now, Daniel Igali, the world champion in this category. He won the title in October of 1999 in Ankara, Turkey at those World Championships. He's taking on Wade Elliott, the 25-year-old out of the University of Calgary Wrestling Club. He has won medals at the CIAU Championships, but he's been in tough. He lost the first match 10-0 in 2.5 minutes in round 1 to Igali, and Igali would like to wrap up match 2 just as quickly. Here we go.
Well, this is a real tough circumstance for someone like Wade Elliott, having lost that match 10-0. Again, he's just got to come out. He's got to try to wrestle his match. But we see Igali commanding presence right off the start there, countering that shot, putting Elliott in a bad position.
Scores a point in the first 10 seconds of round 1 of match number 2. This is best 2 out of 3 at these Olympic trials.
And Igali going for the same technique he was using in that first match, the crotch lift. Scores 2 more points out of bounds there. Pretty tough guy to stop. They'll put Elliott back down on the mat because they were in that position as they went out of bounds. That gives the top wrestler a bit more of an advantage and a little bit fairer too.
John Dossing of Wyoming, Ontario, the official at this match. Wyoming is near Sarnia, Ontario.
Igali going for a gut wrench there. Elliott almost had him countered, but that shows Igali's strength and power by popping him over when he stopped momentarily.
Igali is one of 21 children. His father has 4 wives, which is a part of the Nigerian culture that Daniel is not afraid to talk about and is quite proud of. And his family is in touch with him all the time.
Here going for that same move again, that crotch lift. He's got Elliott in a really tough position here. He's got him on his back. This is a pretty tough one to get out of. Elliott does a good job to counter, though.
Igali is just relentless. Elliott is seemingly just counting the seconds as they go by in this match.
It is a little depressing if you're on the losing end of a match like this, being completely dominated. But you know, Elliott, you know, he's still young. He's still got a few years ahead of him, and he's a very hard worker, really positive guy on both the national team and the University of Calgary team, and really contributes a lot to the program in Alberta.
In a way, he's taking part in a lab experiment because he's going to learn an awful lot just from being dominated like this by Igali. He can look at the tapes and analyze what happened and watch the moves.
Oh, for sure. You know, and especially against an opponent like this, like we were saying earlier, you got to keep moving. Also, your position is so important. You know, if you get yourself in a bad position, even for a split second, a really good wrestler can feel that, not even see it, but they feel it, and they capitalize on it before you even know what happened.
Igali won match 1, 10-0 in just 2.5 minutes. We're late in round number 1 of match 2, and he's already up 7-0, looking to close it out in much the same way.
Beautiful shot, the double leg takedown to his back, scores 3 points. Referee says that Elliott was pinned as he was going down, wins the match by a fall.
A rare pearl at these Olympic trials, winning a match with a fall, but we should expect that from the world champion Daniel Igali, the champion at these Olympic trials in the 69-kilo class, in a class by himself.
Well, in a competition like this is a little tough on a guy like Igali. He's a real favorite to come in. Sometimes it's just a mere formality of getting through it, but you never know, accidents could happen. Here we see that shot again, straight to the back. Both shoulders touch momentarily, scores the pin to win.
He is the world champion, and by virtue of that victory, Daniel Igali has earned a trip to Sydney. Daniel, congratulations. How are you feeling about this match?
I feel good. Waited 8 years for this, and I hope to make Sydney a good experience.
When you go into a match like this as a heavy favorite, as a world champion, how did you prepare yourself mentally for it?
Well, I came in expecting to wrestle this match like every other match, and it worked out. Came out hard and intense. I'm going to keep it up this way all through to the Olympics.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A genuine superstar in the sport of wrestling in this country, Daniel Igali, a proud Canadian citizen and perhaps on his way to a medal.
Well, you know, he's got a lot going for him. He's got excellent training partners, great coaching, a lot of experience, and I'm sure leading into the Olympics, he'll be very prepared and probably more confident than any Canadian has ever been going into the Olympics.
A man to watch.